Hello, my name is Brian, and I'm a drug addict. I'm a drug addict in recovery. I've been in recovery for almost 11 months in next August, or next month. It'll be a year that I've been clean and sober, and it feels so wonderful. I have a clear mind and a free heart, and I have those things because I'm drug free. I had no idea that I'd end up going down the path that I went down, but I'm glad that I woke up to see how dangerous that lifestyle is, and that I was killing myself. I was absolutely killing myself, and I think it was only a matter of time before I actually would have died. I can't even begin to tell you how many drugs I've abused. I mean, it's just so numerous that I can't even come up with a number or anything. I just know that I was really addicted to benzos, barbiturates, and opiates. Opiates were my favorite, absolute favorite. And the benzos came second, and the barbs come third. But I sure did a lot of them, and I was sick. I was really sick. I lost everything except for my family, thank goodness, and my friends. But I lost a vehicle, I lost my furniture, I lost my apartment downtown Omaha. Things were just crumbling underneath me, and I had no idea which direction to go. It was December of 2015 that I decided to move back to my hometown. I was hurting. I was in a bad spot. I had a suicide plan. I was going to take a 50 ml vial of fentanyl, which I had access to. I was going to draw it up in a 50 ml syringe, start a butterfly IV, and just push it slow to get that euphoria one last time. Then I would just bolus the rest of it and go to sleep forever. Well, I had that planned out. I decided, you know what, I need to get home. I need to go to my family and get this worked out. So it was December of 2015. I moved back to O'Neill, Nebraska into my parents' basement. I'm thankful that my parents let me live there. Otherwise, I would have been either couch crashing or who knows, on the street maybe. But I was living in my parents' basement, and I decided when I got here that I would get back on the fire department. We have a volunteer fire department in this town, and right after high school, I was on this department, and I loved it a lot. And I thought, well, I'm back in O'Neill. Let's do this again. I was still using drugs heavy, and it was just getting heavier and heavier at this point. I was on an ambulance call, and I was completely clean and sober at this time. I didn't even have access to any drugs. So, I mean, it was a good day before I had anything. And I fell and broke my back on an ambulance call. Well, after I broke my back, I was in severe, severe pain. And anyway, I got a lot of drugs because of that. And I rode that wave as long as I could. And by the time August rolled around, August of 2017, I just said, I can't do this anymore. I am so sick of chasing drugs and not finding it sometimes and being dope sick and losing my money and just losing so much more. My family said if I do this one more time, they're shutting me off. They're letting me go. And that was really hard to hear, and I can't imagine how hard it was for my mom to tell me that. To have to tell me that if I don't stop doing drugs, they are kicking me out. And I knew I had to do something. It was August 15th. I had to drive down to Omaha to meet with my lawyers. And on the way down there, I was just so upset. I'm like, I can't do this drug thing anymore. I need help. And I go down, meet with my lawyers, and by this point I decided that the next day I was going to go get that help. And had my meeting with the lawyers and got back on the road and headed to O'Neill. And on the way back, I made phone calls to my family and my friends, and I asked them for their support, in me going to get help. And thankfully, everybody was on board with me going to Valley Hope to get some help. Well, August 16th rolls around, and I slept in a bit, and it was about 11 o'clock in the morning. I got up, took a shower, and I drove to Valley Hope and checked myself in. My sister went with me to help me. And I wasn't prepared. I was scared. I was sick. I didn't know what was going to happen. But I got checked into treatment, and I learned a lot. And I've been following the advice of my counselors. It hasn't been an easy road whatsoever, but I can tell you life is a lot easier when you're not high constantly. I have been through some stuff in my sobriety that's difficult to deal with. It's just life, living life on life's terms. But I'm not used to that. I'm used to burying my problems in drugs. Since I've been sober, I've lost 2 jobs. I've been fired from 2 jobs. I've had surgery where I was pumped full of fentanyl. It made me so sick. And the worst thing that's happened since I've been sober, it was right after I got out of treatment. A close friend of mine took his own life. I don't know why he did this. I was so shooken up and baffled by the whole situation. I think about him every day. Now, had he decided to take his life 2 or 3 months before, when I was heavily using, I just may have well followed him. I might have just taken my own life after that. Hell, why not? I'm an addict. I was an addict that was using a lot. My life was shit. Why not go? So it happened after I went through treatment, and I think it's the better time to have it happen. Anyway, so it's possible. Recovery is possible, and you are worth it. If you're watching this video and you're struggling with addiction, just know that you are worth recovery, and you are worth living a life that is free of drugs, and you are able to cope somehow with life's problems. If I can do this, I think you can do it too, and you are worth it. Dealing with life with a clean, clear head and an open heart is so much easier to deal with life than when using drugs. I mean, I can actually handle shit now. Before I couldn't. I would just take more drugs, ruin more of my life. So I'm glad I went to treatment, and I'm glad that I learned what I learned. And I can't wait for my year anniversary of being clean off of drugs. I never saw myself going down that path. I lost everything: my car, my apartment, my furniture, my career. I can work with narcotics every day. Fentanyl, Versed, ketamine, you name it. I had access to all of it. So it was time to move on from that. But just know that recovery is possible. It's not something you can do by yourself, I can guarantee it. My recovery is possible because I have support. I have my family, I have my friends, I have AA meetings, NA meetings, I have a sponsor. I've got the fellowship of Alcoholics Anonymous, Narcotics Anonymous, and the fellowship at Valley Hope, which is in my hometown. I'll tell you what, life is a lot better when you're not doing drugs. I hope that if you're watching this and you're struggling, drop a comment. Maybe I can talk to you and help you somehow. But anyway, I just wanted to talk a little bit about my journey so far in sobriety. Thanks for watching.